horizon?
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Friday means another 50-50 Friday. This week, score a $50 gift certificate to the Closet Boss in Clinton for just $25, exclusively through this station's website. Discover Closet Boss in Clinton, a locally sourced upscale consignment.
WIBX Utica Road, W295
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
It's day 4 of a U.S. military blockade. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, blocking oil going into or out of Iran's ports in the Strait of Hormuz. And we'll get an update on that next hour from the War Secretary. White House Deputy Press Secretary Anna Kelly tells Fox.
And this has totally neutralized not only the threat that Iran has tried to pose on the free flow of energy in the Strait of Hormuz, it's also crushing them economically.
On top of that, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the U.S. is ready to sanction countries that buy Iranian oil or have Iranian money in their banks.
The Iranians should know that this is going to be the financial equivalent of what we saw in the kinetic activities.
Referencing all the bombing in Iran before the ceasefire. And he says, once the conflict ends, we'll get back to $3 gas. AAA's national average for regular is down a penny this morning at $4.09 a gallon. There's no ceasefire in Lebanon, with Israel continuing to attack Hezbollah militants. But after the Israeli and Lebanese ambassadors to the U.S. met in Washington Tuesday, President Trump posted on Truth Social the leaders of both countries will meet today, though that is not confirmed. And Fox's Trey Yingst reports from Tel Aviv the two sides have a new dispute.
The Lebanese health ministry said 4 rescue workers were killed in Israeli strikes on Wednesday. The Israelis responded to a request for comment from Fox News, saying, quote, overnight the IDF targeted Hezbollah combatants who were wearing paramedic vests and using ambulances to move Hezbollah fighters and weapons. We can confirm that 4 Hezbollah combatants were successfully killed in the strikes.
Russia's war in Ukraine also rages on. A new bombardment has left at least 16 Ukrainians dead.
Civilian areas took the brunt as nearly 700 drones and dozens of missiles rained down on Ukraine. It's the biggest barrage in almost 2 weeks. A 12-year-old was among those killed in the capital, Kyiv, with more than 50 others injured.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Changes could be coming for buying tickets to concerts and sporting events. A jury sided with states in a lawsuit that Live Nation and Ticketmaster operated an illegal monopoly, driving up prices. America's listening to Fox News.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4-RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
2 days after 2 congressmen resigned in scandal, Republican Tony Gonzalez and Democrat Eric Swalwell, they're going to the polls now in New Jersey to fill another vacant House seat.
The special election for the 11th district seat in the U.S. House will decide who fills the remainder of now Governor Mikey Sherrill's term on Capitol Hill. Democrat Ana Lilia Mejia and Republican Joe Hathaway are the major party candidates. Hathaway was unopposed on the GOP side, while progressives in Congress, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, have backed Mejia. Polls in the district will close at 8 p.m. local time. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are up modestly the day after record highs for the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Saudi Arabia shook up the golf world with LIV, buying players away from the PGA Tour. Now the question is, how much longer will LIV live?
An announcement on the future of the kingdom's involvement in LIV could come as soon as Thursday, according to Fox's Brett Baer. He also says the Saudis will fund LIV through the end of this season, meaning the contracts, the television deal, and the tournament venues remaining will all be funded. But sources say the Saudi funding will definitely come to an end at the end of this LIV season. Officials from LIV were summoned to an emergency meeting in New York amid speculation fueled by social media that the circuit could be on the verge of shutting down operations. Back in 23, the Saudi Public Investment Fund and the PGA Tour announced a framework agreement. However, it fell through. Jay Berman, Fox News.
In the NBA play-in tournament, Philadelphia beat Orlando 109-97, giving the 76ers the 7th seed in the East. Golden State eliminated the LA Clippers in the West 126-101. Tomorrow, the Warriors will play Phoenix. The Magic will face Charlotte. The winners will get the 8 seeds in the playoffs. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 61 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. More details being released about a school shooting plot in Clinton. According to authorities, one of the suspects, a 14-year-old girl, was obsessed with the 1999 Columbine tragedy in Colorado and said the shooting would be a way for bullies to feel her pain. That shooting was planned for tomorrow in the cafeteria at Clinton Middle School. 2 other teenagers also facing charges in connection with the case. For the second time this week, state lawmakers in Albany voting on a budget extender. The last extender was approved on Monday. Another one up for vote today. It would keep the state running through the end of the day. Through the end of next week. There's still no word on when the legislature and governor will reach a deal on the budget, which is now more than 2 weeks late. A spending plan was not approved last year until 40 days after the April 1st deadline. A mother facing charges after police say her young daughter was found alone in a bathtub. Rome police responded to a home on Palmer Ave for a welfare check and found the child, who was under the age of 2, unattended in the tub. The child was not injured. Police say they found 34-year-old Carrie Bachman unconscious but breathing inside the home. Officers also said they found drug paraphernalia, including empty marijuana bags, and the child is now reportedly safe. Syracuse University Chancellor Kent Severud is stepping down from his position after receiving devastating health news. Severud said yesterday that he's been diagnosed with brain cancer and leaving that role, clearing the way for new Chancellor Mike Haney to take over today. Haney was selected to replace Severud, who was planning to become the next president at the University of Michigan. However, because of the medical diagnosis, he will not be taking that role. Lawmakers in Syracuse are calling for a ban on the use of facial recognition technology. A pair of counselors there say it would prohibit the use of that technology at businesses and other entities that are open to the public. Officials say they're concerned about the growing use of facial recognition and the implications it has on civil rights and privacy. The Common Council could vote on the plan as early as next month.
Have these chairs always had arms on them? I'm feeling uncomfortable today.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm wider than the chair today. I never noticed the arms.
What are you suffering from, bloat?
I just never noticed them before. Now all of a sudden they're pushing on the side of me. Dear God.
We have cloudy skies, 61 degrees, and apparently a few extra calories laying around.
Right, I have rolls. The spare tire is a little bit bigger today.
2% off at the Mamdani grocery store for basics like bread and rolls.
2%?
I think that's what it is.
Fantastic. Look at that savings.
We have cloudy skies, 61 degrees. It is 7:08.
I talked about yesterday being our day for severe weather today, and it looks like we will see some stronger storms, especially this afternoon. Some showers around this morning, maybe a thunderstorm. This afternoon storms could contain some strong, damaging straight-line winds, maybe some hail. Could be a brief tornado. Temperatures will be well into the 70s, about 75. Showers, thunderstorms early tonight, then showers, upper 50s, and a chance of showers and thunderstorms again on Friday, upper 60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Very casually saying that, hey, a tornado coming through.
I don't understand that. A brief tornado. I was looking around this morning and on my drive in because I was like, I thought I saw a leaf blow in front of me. I got nervous.
He makes it sound like it's a passing shower.
Well, the straight line wind,
raindrops
the
this
straight
afternoon.
line wind scares me more because the last time we had straight line winds in Remsen, I lost 200-foot pine trees.
Yeah.
Went crashing down into the neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a big deal, but, it was a big deal. I lost 2 pine trees. How many pine trees get lost in a year in a windstorm?
Yeah, well, I have
scary.
A pine in my backyard. It sheds branches constantly. I mean, the breeze comes through. And,
we need those trees, to breathe.
Well, and we need to plant new ones, Joe.
When's Arbor Day?
Let me get sports going here.
Yeah, it used to be a big holiday.
The NFL is taking steps to replace the officials. In a memo from the league's senior vice president of officiating, the NFL has started to onboard potential replacement officials as the expiration of their CBA with the NFL Referees Association is about to expire. Several replacements have completed background checks with league security on the way, and they will soon be given physical exams. The CBA between the two sides expires on May 31st. NBA action last night. 2 more teams claimed NBA play-in tournament wins. The Sixers advanced to the first round in the Eastern Conference playoffs, beating the Magic 109-97. Philly earns the 7 seed. They'll battle number 2 Boston in round 1. Orlando has one last chance to make the opening round on Friday with a victory against Charlotte. The winner will square off against top-seeded Detroit. Out west, the Warriors took down the Clippers 126-121. Golden State will visit Phoenix on Friday, with the winner advancing to a matchup against number 1 Oklahoma City in the first round. Also, Hornets guard LaMelo Ball has been fined $60,000 by the NBA. He was fined $35,000 and assessed a flagrant foul 2 for unnecessary and reckless contact against Bam Adebayo. Ball was also fined an additional $25,000 for using profane language during a live TV interview. Charlotte will visit Orlando, as we said, in a battle for the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference coming up on Friday. The Mets lose again. They were swept by the Dodgers, the final 8-2 from Los Angeles. Clay Holmes takes the loss. The Mets have now lost 8 straight games. They're off today and open a series in Chicago against the Cubbies starting tomorrow. The Yankees got a walk-off win, second time in this series, 5-4 the final against the the Angels in the Bronx. Jose Caballero ending the game with a 2-run double in the bottom of the 9th. The Yankees won 2 out of 3. They close out their 4-game series coming up later today. All right. And the Citron game tonight, I'll include that in sports. The annual Citron wheelchair basketball game.
I can't believe you're going to be doing that, Dave.
Roosevelt, Bowie, Brandon Trish, and your man.
Is it something that you want to do? You want to sit in for me? Go ahead.
Well, apparently he's complaining about this chair. I can't imagine with the wheelchair.
Jesus. They have those wide ones. You ever see them?
That thing will be screaming for help.
I've never ever done that. I've never been invited to that specific game. And the donkey basketball, they never invited me to those either because they were probably afraid for the animal.
Oh, stop! They've carried bigger loads than you, Joe.
Yeah, I've done donkey basketball before.
You have?
Yes,
yeah.
I have.
That's crazy. I mean,
like I said this morning, they're bringing me up from the A League to fill in for Bill tonight.
Well, you'll do fine, Davey.
Yeah.
I expect at least 4 points.
I don't know. Do they have cup holders on those chairs for Davey?
I don't know.
He's going to need it. You'll be fine.
Are we going to the phone lines? Is this Ann? Ann, you sent me a video, and I don't know. I started watching it, but it wouldn't play properly. What did you send me?
That's okay. I am so fired up today. I mean, my head's going to explode. When I had breast cancer, and I had to have reconstructive surgery, not plastic surgery. There's a difference. Plastic surgery is when you want to make yourself look better. Reconstruction is when you're trying to look normal. I had to go at my insurance company to let them know that it's not plastic surgery. And over the years, they've gotten better with helping people with breast cancer. But right now, there are still people that need help financially. And what did I get to watch last night? California has that video is a trans man who came here illegally and had breast implants on our tax dollars. Are you freaking kidding me?
Amen.
That's ridiculous. And I'm sick and tired of supporting them. Anybody that wants to have them stay here, you support them. Take that money out of your pocket. When I have to go to that cancer center and see these people fighting for their lives, not knowing how they're going to pay their bills, it sickens me. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
Anna, are we related? I like this lady. I like her a lot.
Joe completely agrees with you.
Don't get me started on the veterans that these people are getting free homes and they're getting free medical. And these guys
we have
are
veterans
walking
on the
around.
streets.
They need mental and physical help.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have Tunnel to Towers and Wounded Warriors. This government should take care of our military.
Amen.
Thank you, Ann.
Okay.
I hope you calm down. Don't blow gas.
I gotta go
put down that second cup of coffee. Whoa.
God.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ann. I needed a
I'm
little
gonna
more
have my
juice.
first.
Put
Thanks,
a little
guys.
sambuca in there or something.
Yeah.
It is 7:15. If you want to weigh in on that or other topics, I know Joe wants to. You can do so on the app. Are we up on YouTube now?
Should be.
We should be on
Mike
YouTube.
from
so you-
Skyler wants to make a quick
comment
point
there.
on the Yankee
Hey.
game last night.
Go ahead, Mike.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it was sort of ironic yesterday because yesterday was Jackie Robinson Day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone was wearing 42, and ironically enough, the game yesterday ended with a walk-off run. There was like two people scoring. The tying run came in, but then they sent Wells, and that was a close call. And Wells, right, who was a catcher of the Yankees, it reminds you of back in 1955 World Series with Jackie Robinson stealing home, right, against the Yankees in the World Series, and that was real famous because Yogi Berra was emphatic. He believed that he was out, and it was the thing he used to bust the chops about all the time. He said he was out. Everyone would say to him he was safe, the Yogi and everything, and everyone's wearing 42, and it's amazing that it was on Jackie Robinson Day, and it was. When it happened last night.
And you know something, Mike? Of all players to wake up against the Yankees of the Los Angeles Angels, Mike Trout having a tremendous series against the Yankees. Hit another home run again last night.
Oh, I know. And it's funny too. You think about the irony. How about you think about back when I think David Cohn, when he had the perfect game.
Yep.
For the Don Larson, who had the perfect game in 1956. Yep. Larson was at the game. He was actually at the game with it because they were talking to him, and then he gets a perfect game. There's only been 2 perfect games since then for the Yankees at that time.
Yep.
This moment in Yankee history
is brought to you by
Lincoln Skyler.
That's right, John.
Prevagen. Mike, thank you for the call, man.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yankees look to take 3 out of 4 when they wrap up their series with the Angels coming up this afternoon. They have won 2 out of 3 so far, and both walk-off wins. Dan and Stittville, so glad you have Joe Lowdown this morning. I don't have to watch Newsmax or Fox to get my anti-poor people news. And John in Deerfield, this is something we talked about earlier this morning. I think, Tim, you were highlighting that if you live in Florida for half the year, they kind of keep tabs on you.
Yes.
He says legal domicile came up in a court case in 2025 about a person claiming residency in Florida. He sent me a leak. I don't have time to read it right now. A similar case decided on New York Appeals Court where a person spent time in Florida, New York, and Arizona. New York State Appeals Court said since the individual was still earning money through New York, they were still considered residents of New York, even if a majority of their time was spent out of state. Now, that's not right either.
Well, pretty soon you're going to have exit taxes, too. Watch that. California and New York, they're going to start taxing you if you want to leave. They're going to have, like, some kind of fund.
It'd be like
you got to support
Easy
us.
Pass.
Right. You're leaving? Oh, okay, no problem. You can leave, but here's what you have to pay before you can go.
Where did you hear about this? I haven't heard about this.
Oh, it's all over the news right now.
Yeah.
Now, you got to watch the right news.
Oh, God. Oh, my Lord.
It's all over the news.
You know.
Right.
You can't be picking up the Inquirer as you're going through the.
They want to do an exit
checkout.
tax in these states that are mostly blue states, we'll call them, because people are leaving at such an alarming rate that they want to start charging. Now, it's not done yet. These are proposals that they want to start charging people to leave the state.
Let's see here. California exit tax. What you need to know before moving out. California does not have an official exit tax.
Yet.
What people usually mean by the exit tax is a mix of California's aggressive residency and sourcing rules and past proposals for a wealth tax that would have tried to keep taxing high net worth former residents years after they leave. As of February 21, 2026, it has not enacted an exit tax. Separately, a proposed ballot initiative, often called the Billionaire Tax Act, would impose a one-time 5% tax on the net worth of certain billionaires who are California residents as of January 1, 2026. Yada, yada. Okay, well, they have talked about it.
Yeah, I told you. I didn't say it's, I read stuff sometimes besides labels.
The proposal aimed to recoup revenue and prevent capital gains tax avoidance. The federal expiration tax, detailed in the IRS expiration page, is a separate consideration applying to individuals renouncing U.S. citizenship or long-term permanent residency.
When's the next census? Because I'd be interested to see what our New York numbers are officially.
How often do they do that? Is
I
it
don't
every
know.
5 years?
It's
I thought
10 years?
But it's got to be coming up, right? I don't think we've done one in a while.
Yeah,
I want to know where we stand. It's like, how many people are left in New York, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe we need to lessen positions in Congress and Senate and stuff like that. Maybe
that's what's going to that's what's going to happen
And
too.
it should.
Is in regards to that,
Well,
that
yeah,
there's
but
going to
Joe,
be a
wait.
big change.
Less
in
representation
Congress.
in New York isn't a good thing.
Well, it is.
How?
It is in a way, because maybe then people will start to open their eyes and vote the right way.
Okay, but then we would have less representation. Even if they were picking the legislators that you like, there would be fewer of them.
Right, but I get that, but that's the way it's got to be. And then
No.
states
Joe, we
that
need
like
more
Florida will be
representation.
more representation in Florida because
Well,
people
that's
move
why
to Florida.
You're concerned about that because that's where you're moving to. You want more representation in Florida. For those of us staying in New York, we need more reps up here. We need more federal dollars to come in.
It's a shame. It's a shame, but it's like a catch-22. You want more. People want to keep more, so they're going to leave more.
2030.
2030. Okay, so not 4 more years. Well, no.
I think
exactly where things are, right?
Is that when it starts or that's when it's released? Because it takes a couple years to compile all that data.
It says standard every 10 years.
I remember it happened in 1998.
Preparation is already underway, so they're actively planning for the count. And
yeah, 30. Maybe it's 30, and the official numbers aren't released until 32.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because this takes a while.
It does take a couple years.
They don't want you to see it.
It is 7:21. We're going to go to the phone lines. We got to quickly switch topics, guys. Travis Broadbeck is with Siena Research Institute. A new poll: New Yorkers split on pros and cons of artificial intelligence. Good morning, Travis. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
We're great. 43% of New York State residents say the disadvantages of AI are too great, while just over 1/3 say the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. Tell us about this.
Absolutely. So we interviewed 810 New York State residents from March 4th to 16th. We wanted to get a feel for what New Yorkers feel about AI, how familiar are they with it, and also what are their concerns about it. And right there is our headline that folks are a little bit uneasy about the overall advantages versus the disadvantages of using this technology, whether that is climate or deep fakes or critical thought. There's a lot of different criticisms of AI. But then again, you have productivity, accessibility to tools and experts that we never had before. So New Yorkers are on the fence, but they're more leaning towards the disadvantages. And something that's interesting is 19%, 1 out of 5 said, I don't know which is better or worse, the advantages or disadvantages. So 4 years after ChatGPT has been released publicly, we are starting to wrestle with the implications of this new technology.
Yeah, I certainly am in with the group, the majority here, who has concerns about it, and I'm afraid that the disadvantages might outweigh the advantages. But my concern isn't deep fakes, like seeing President Trump, who looks like Jesus with the crown of thorns or something like that. It's more about job replacement. Did that come up as a concern?
We didn't ask about job replacement in this specific survey, but that is one of the various concerns that we have right now. And when you look at AI, you actually see that for the first time compared to previous industrial revolutions, your white-collar workers, your professional administrative workers, they're on the chopping block now because AI can do emails, can do data entry, can do even analysis. And obviously, as we can see, AI has a lot of different functionalities that hasn't even been explored yet with robotics.
I wonder if AI actually has been invented by corporate CEOs to get rid of high-paying employees. I mean, who came up?
That is one possibility.
Yeah, I mean, do we know who started AI, where it came from, who started it? Is it Zuckerberg?
The origins of AI actually go back all the way to the 1950s. Essentially, what we identified was, can machines identify patterns better than us? And the truth is, they do. They do a great job. They don't have cognitive gaps, and they're able to assemble massive data structures. But you're right. There are a lot of big players, such as the Meta Foundation, OpenAI, Google, the X Foundation, that are putting a lot of money into this technology with the hope to not only sell their product to consumers and businesses, but also to identify productivity gains.
Well, I think the concern is that and everyone's saying, oh, this is just to make our workers more productive, which is fine, but there's a reason why they're spending billions of dollars on this, and it isn't just productivity. And I think the concern is that what's going to happen is that the jobs that are going to get cut will tend to be the entry-level jobs, the first people coming in regards to it. So it's going to be a real hindrance for the young people of today in regards to looking for that first job, because those jobs just are no longer going to be available.
The bagging groceries, the working at the counter at McDonald's or something, it's so trending toward you place your own order in the computer.
Right.
Of course, most grocery stores have self-checkout now.
Right, you bag your own.
You bag your own, and they just have one person standing by the door who randomly checks receipts.
Well,
and those were entry-level jobs for young people.
And in white collar, I have a son who's an accountant. That job area, I think white collar is going to get eviscerated by AI.
Yeah.
Normally it was when technology took place, it was the blue collar people that usually took the head.
Right, the guys that were in the
We've got a machine that can dig for coal.
Right,
we can do this. It's more safe or whatever. This is the first time where people's next door neighbor, who's a white collar person, is taking it, and there's concern.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Well, because they saw what it did to the blue collar working class, so now that same trend.
They don't care much for that.
Right.
Travis, where can we find more information on the poll and the results?
Absolutely. If you go to our website, sri.siena.edu, and that's Siena with one N, so SIENA, you'll be able to see the results of our crosstabs. We can look at all the different questions and see how we have different demographical differences. Some that I'll kind of tease out for folks to come to our website is there's a difference by age. Folks under 50 and versus folks over 50 have very different attitudes and usage behaviors of AI. But also, interestingly, and we're not the only ones to find this, there's a gender divide where men are more trusting of AI, they're more optimistic about its opportunities, and they use it more relative to women. So something to look at when we think about how the job market might change over time. And the one thing I tell all my students when we teach is you may not be replaced by AI immediately, but you'll be replaced by someone who knows how to use AI.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good point. Travis Broadbeck with Siena Research Institute, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, it scares me. I told you I have an irrational fear of AI. I do.
I think it all started with that iRobot movie.
I just saw that actually the courts now can get into your chats when if there's an issue, like somebody got murdered or whatever.
Almost like a Google search,
exactly.
Like your phone was searching on Google, how do I get rid of a body in a lake or something like that.
Oh, you don't have a burner phone?
A couple comments here this morning. John in Deerfield says the exit tax has been floated in California for several years. It was part of the proposed New York budget from the governor. Hey, John, are you saying this year it was? Or last year maybe? Lance and Lee, exit taxes are unconstitutional. That's why you will never see them.
Well, hopefully you're right, Lance and Lee.
Yeah, I hope he's right. You know, Andrew Yang a few years ago, I see you, Smitty. We'll take one in a second. Andrew Yang had talked about the almost like a guaranteed income, right? I forget what he called it. It was like $1,000 a month or something. But as crazy as that sounded at the time, I don't know how you account for all the job loss. I really don't. I hate to keep coming back and harping on this point, but I think they said AI has already replaced 1 million jobs in the last year and a half.
Well, job security
jobs
would be
will never come back.
Go to the trades, young folks that are listening. Go to the trades. Be a electrician. Be a mason. Be a carpenter. Those are the jobs. The plumbers. Those are the jobs that will dictate the future, because when nobody else is around that can do them, they can get their own price, whatever they want. They can ask for anything.
Yeah, well, they don't even have to advertise.
But if all the customers are unemployed, how are they going to pay them?
The government's taking care of that.
Oh,
see?
yeah.
Don't worry,
funny.
they'll float the bill tax time.
It is First News Keeler in the morning, 7:29. Tim Reed in, Joe Loden as well. We'll break for a quick news update. Coming up, your chance to win $250 with the Hobica Law Firm's free money question of the day. Also, you will qualify. One person will qualify for a chance to win tickets to see Sebastian Maniscalco. You like him?
He's awesome. I saw him at the Landmark in Syracuse.
Really?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it reminded me of my childhood.
Oh, really?
Growing up in rural Frankfort, New York with my Italian grandmother. How many spoons did she break?
Grandmother. he's so over the top.
It's the truth,
You want some manigot?
Manigot! What's the matter with you mayonnaise face?
But he's
my
popular.
grandmother, that's the first time I ever heard the term mayonnaise face, a Madigan.
Really?
American, a Madigan. She just put the Italian twist on it.
Okay.
She had the Italian horns hanging on all corners of the house with the moink. If you acted up next door, she'd give it to you. My grandmother, though, in Frankfort, New York, okay, she was the only person in the middle of a blizzard. You could see the blacktop on that driveway. She was out there. It was spotless. Used to cut the grass with the scissors underneath the fence every year. She's impeccable. That's the old way, though.
You know, it's funny. I'm going to prolong this segment. I don't know why, but I'll just tell you that my grandmother's sister, so it was my great aunt, used to by hand. That my first job ever was mowing her lawn. It was a nice sized side lot, but it was pretty big. Anyway, she would go hands and knees.
Yeah.
Weeding.
Yeah. My grandma had a little tool,
Yeah.
and she would get there with a bushel basket and fill up a bushel and put it on the curb.
You talk about using scissors on the edges instead of a weed whacker.
Yeah, that's the way they did it. They worked my grandma on her gravestone. It says, "You are closer to God when you are in the garden." Something like that. Like she worked the earth.
I would
Good
imagine
earth with this grandmother.
Someday yours is going to say you are closer to God when you're sipping a shandy.
Why
do you keep throwing these softballs at him? Get him going.
Joe Lode's going to have an aneurysm here this
to
morning.
put a blood pressure cuff on him.
7:31. We've got more comments to get to, and we still didn't get into this ABS. I know
Oh,
you've
yeah.
been watching baseball. You like this challenge pitches ABS system?
I don't like it, but we'll talk about it.
All right. Well, that'll be coming up. We'll hit news next. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Need a shower pan for your mobile home? John's Mobile Home Parts in Oriskany Falls has everything. Sick of stepping over your tub? Replace with a shower pan. They've got those too at John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories, Skyline Drive, Oriskany Falls, on Facebook or johnsmobilehomeparts.com.
AmeriQ Credit Union's rewards and high-rate checking accounts are worth celebrating. Open an AmeriQ high-rate checking and earn an unprecedented rate. Or open a rewards checking account and earn rewards with every swipe. Open an account today at ameriq.org/checking.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Mattress Express is upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Bring in any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS or go to mattressexpressny.com.
Don't miss Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event, April 16th through the 18th. We're giving you the best deals of the season on all of our inventory. Thousands of used and new equipment in stock, all in one location. Get 0% financing on new Ferris commercial mowers, Massey Ferguson, and New Holland equipment, and trailers and used equipment as low as 5.49%. Restrictions apply. It's Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event, April 16th through the 18th. ClintonTractor.net.
Friday means another 50-50 Friday. This week, score a $50 gift certificate to the Closet Boss in Clinton for just $25, exclusively through this station's website. Discover Closet Boss in Clinton, a locally sourced upscale consignment boutique, your destination for a curated collection of new and gently pre-loved designer fashion. For less, head to this station's website this Friday morning, click the 50-50 Friday link, and grab your $50 gift certificate for just $25 while they last.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Mattress Express is upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Bring in any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS or go to mattressexpressny.com.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number, 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
If you've missed the Kim Commando Show, you've missed a lot.
Yeah, they forced Claude to unlearn all the information it got from the pirated technology.
And it's a $1.5 billion landmark settlement. A reader from the current newsletter sent me a note. He put his name in. He made $6,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, not bad for getting a free newsletter.
America's digital goddess. Kim Commando.
Saturday mornings at 10 on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
All right, we have cloudy skies, 62 degrees. It is 7:36. U.S. Central Command says American forces have completely halted economic trade going into and out of Iran by sea. This after a naval blockade of Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz went into effect on Monday. The top Republican in the Senate is criticizing Vice President J.D. Vance for lecturing the Pope. Senate Majority Leader John Thune spoke to a reporter from Punchbowl News on Wednesday and was asked about the vice president's recent comments about Pope Leo. Vance told a conservative rally on Tuesday that the Pope needs to, quote, be careful when he talks about matters of theology, end quote, in regard to the war in Iran. Senator Thune noted that theology is the Pope's job and suggested Vance focus on economic and pocketbook issues. New Jersey voters will decide today who replaces former Congressman Mikey Sherrill, who was elected governor last year. Today's winner will only serve until January 3rd, 2027, since candidates will have to run again in November's general election to hold the seat for a full term. A man accused of placing pipe bombs outside of two Washington, D.C. buildings on the eve of January 6, 2021, and the Capitol riot is facing new federal charges. Prosecutors have now charged Brian Cole Jr. with attempting to use weapons of mass destruction and attempting an act of terrorism while armed. Cole is accused of planting explosive devices outside the Republican National and Democratic National Committee headquarters. Live Nation and its subsidiary Ticketmaster have been found guilty in a high-stakes antitrust trial. The lawsuit alleged the company engaged in anti-competitive conduct, causing fans to pay higher fees, giving artists fewer options for touring, and coercing venues to use Ticketmaster. And animal rights activists say they plan to raid a Wisconsin facility that breeds thousands of beagles to sell for medical and scientific research. Ridgeland Farms was previously under investigation after former employees testified about mistreatment of the animals. Now, activists say they have more than 1,700 people who signed up for what they're calling a nonviolent operation to take as many dogs as possible this coming Sunday. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 7:38. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
I talked about yesterday being our day for severe weather today, and it looks like we will see some stronger storms, especially this afternoon. Some showers around this morning, maybe a thunderstorm. This afternoon, storms could contain some strong, damaging straight-line winds, maybe some hail. Could be a brief tornado. Temperatures will be well into the 70s, about 75. Showers, thunderstorms early tonight, then showers, upper 50s, and a chance of showers and thunderstorms again on Friday, upper 60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stejcik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Howdy, skies. It's 62 degrees. We're all laughing in here, chuckling about that. We love Ray Stejcik from the Weather Channel, but that for maybe a brief tornado. You know.
I think I just saw it. Just flew by.
Just a brief one.
Where?
Maybe a small hurricane.
Oh, God.
Possibly an earthquake. Or, as Tim said, a nuclear blast. It's 7:39. Coming up, we're going to kick free money to next hour because I guess we're about to get real busy here. Steve Raffaero, the City of Utica Republican chairman, is about to join us in studio. I wanted to mention one more story. I ended with that animal story. So they're going to raid this farm where they breed beagles?
Beagles, yeah.
Yeah, that's extremely illegal.
They're going to go and grab as many as they can.
It's extremely illegal for them to raid the property
sweep.
I mean,
and steal the dogs, whether they agree in principle or not.
Right. You do know that beagles bark. It's not going to be like a quiet attempt. It's going to be very loud and distracting.
Well, I want you to react to this, Joe. Italy's just made history. They are the first country to now, have you guys heard about this?
No.
They offer paid leave to workers caring for sick pets.
Oh.
In 2017, a librarian in Rome, Italy, fought for time off to take care of her sick dog and won. She argued that under Italian law, letting an animal suffer is a crime. So forcing someone to choose between work and their pet put them in an impossible situation. Mm-hmm. Look, you've had dogs before, Joe?
I have a dog currently.
Tim?
And I am growing fond of my dog, and if my dog needed me, I would be there.
Yeah, but
you have sick days and personal time to take care of that stuff.
I agree. Use personal time. When your dog gets sick, what do you make it soup? Rub its back?
I rub his belly. He likes that, but he doesn't get sick. My dog's tough.
Yeah. When was the last
German
time
Shepherd.
Your dog was actually sick that it was noticeable and you knew it? And then what did you do to take care of it?
Suck it up, I said.
Ridiculous. Let's see.
You know, it's funny, though, that you bring up dogs, because I have a dog story. Can I just tell it?
You will.
Hang on. Let me finish this. Workers can now take up to 3 days to care for their pets. There are rules, though. The pet has to be microchipped, and a vet has to confirm that the situation is urgent. Okay, so this is...
okay.
They're saying they expect some people to try to do this with goldfish. Also, my goldfish is sick.
I mean, I know people that have had pets long time, 15 years. The dog has cancer. The dog, you know, you want to be there. I mean, listen, at some point it becomes a member of the family, right? I mean, I like my dog more than I like some people out there. So, I mean, I should be there for him if he needs it. But I'm not going to take off work, okay? I don't take, number one, I'm not that kind of guy that just takes off work to take off work.
Yeah, if you're taking off work and you're calling in sick, you're going to do something that day.
That's right.
Go to Enchanted
I'm not going to call in on a rainy day. Are you kidding me? It's going to be sunny so I can get some work done around the house.
Real quick, I don't know if I should mention this, but I will. When you talk about being part of the family, my ex and I had a dog, and the dog is still alive today, 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
It was a tiny little pug and poodle mix. And
19?
19.
Well, in dog years, that's like a bazillion.
Yeah,
seven
like
times 19.
50 years or something.
Holy
I don't
cow,
know.
that's a record.
Maybe 126, 136 off the top of my head. I couldn't tell you. But unfortunately, we've got or she's got a.
It's awful.
We're dealing with, my son's not, loving the news, obviously. So.
Oh, no, not. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, little Reyes.
Yes.
That was the one argument I won. She named my son, I named the dog. That was how that went. So, but the 2007 Super Bowl, that's how far back I can trace pictures that we had this little thing. And it was, it was her dog.
I remember
the thing weighs like 7 pounds.
Right.
It was like a purse dog.
I remember the day you got that dog. I think you brought it to work with one.
Not talking about, not Shay.
Oh, you're Reyes. I know Reyes.
Reyes,
Yes. I remember the day. Yeah.
It's
So,
sad. See, and that's
sad,
you might need to take a day for that, Jeff.
Well, that
I won't.
makes sense.
My son might need a day, though. Certainly, he might need a couple days. The thing's like twice as old as my son.
Yeah.
It's amazing. 7:42. Do I need to break here? Okay, quick break. Bill, the host of this show, Keeler in the Morning, that Bill, is on the line. He's going to join us. And we'll also talk to...
How dare he?
I'm sorry.
We'll also talk to Stephen Raffaello, the city
Hijack the show.
of the City of Utica Republican chairman. Am I understanding is he being booted out of the post? I don't know. We'll talk about it coming up. First News, Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Hurt in a car? Call William Matar. 315-444-4444.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center. We're the members of IBEW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Start your savings at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Now through April 30th, get up to $130 off instantly on the purchase of 4 new Bridgestone or Firestone tires. This instant rebate includes popular models like the Bridgestone Dueler and Firestone Destination tires. Don't wait. These offers end March 31st. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team. Whitesboro is a leading school system in Central New York. With 7 schools, 3,100 students, and holding a 92% graduation rate, you can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Perfect for retirees with extra time. Help drive our future leaders with Whitesboro Central School Transportation. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
It is First News, Keeler in the Morning on WIBX, 747. Bill joining us, Keeler, that is, by phone. Bill, how many miles above the speed limit are you going right now?
Well, I think that's confidential. I'm not sure we can talk about that. But I am using Waze.
Oh, yeah.
That's an awesome app to use, and it lets you know when, there's fog or a brief tornado touching down. You get
all right,
you get all that information. Or a police officer that might be using radar.
Oh, it gives you a heads up to that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And what is it
Tim,
called again?
What it is. Wait.
WAZE or Waves?
No, WAZE.
Waze. Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
I'll check that out.
Yep.
Joining us in the studio, of course, Tim Reed is in here, Joe Load is in here, and now stepping in, Stephen Ruffero. You are currently, or you are now the former City of Utica Republican chairman?
I am the current chair of the City of Utica Republican Party until they do a reorganizational meeting in October.
Come a little tighter to that, and so it's a foregone conclusion. You're not going to be able to hold on to this post. Tell us what happened.
No. So to run as a delegate for the Republicans or Democrats, you need to get a certain number of signatures in your district. So I got my 12 signatures, like I usually do, and other Republicans objected to my signatures, and because there was a duplicate signature on my petition and the person running against me, I will not have the opportunity to run as chair, which actually I was not going to run for chair again. So I didn't get removed. I wasn't removed for irregularities and falsing documentation, whatever was stated on the other radio station. So that clears that up. I mean, I wasn't going to rerun anyway, but no, I might be appointed as a delegate again after the new committee is set, but as of October for the reorganizational meeting, I will not be the city chair. But I am the city chair now and will be until the organizational meeting.
And who were you running against?
There are other Republican delegates, so I'd rather not say their name because this has nothing to do with them. They didn't do anything wrong. There are other delegates. Same thing we did the last time we ran. A lot of people ran in different delegate positions, and you run a primary in June, and if you get enough people to vote for you, you're the delegate in that district.
Yeah. So what was the issue with the signature, the duplicate signature? How was it determined that person was really supporting someone else as opposed to supporting you? How did they?
So the mistake happened so when you file your petitions at the county, there's a period of time that they become public. You get copies of them and you review them. The person, it's not that they're supporting one person or another. The person that's running against me got their signature in March. When I went the first week of April, they didn't know what they were signing, so there's a duplicate signature.
Okay.
But the other thing is, and that lies on me for not getting 13 or 14 or 15 signatures. But as the chair of the party, I distribute petitions. I monitor petitions by asking who's gone out, where are you? And some people, whether they have a physical ailment because they broke a leg or whatever, can't get out. So my responsibility is to help them. So I'll go out and get signatures for other people.
There was an issue with this as well, right? Were you told that you couldn't, or they wouldn't give you the petitions to go collect on behalf of somebody else?
So there's two separate things going on there. The first thing is my delegate petition. Okay, so that's the person running against me as a delegate. Now we go back to the assembly race. So when you become endorsed, the county will normally put petitions together. Okay, so whether it's the county petition, the assembly petition, the congressperson, and they'll normally disperse those to the cities, and then we disperse them to the wards within the cities. When I went to pick up the petitions, there were petitions missing. Went back to my office, started going through them to put them together. There weren't copies, whatever it was. Well, the county petition and the assembly petition person, they were not in the group. I went back up to the county offices to get them and was told by the county committee, we're not going to give you the assembly person's petition. I said, why not? Because you endorsed someone else. But I'm like, that has nothing to do with my responsibility as a chair. That was my personal choice. They decided not to give them to me. I said, okay, no problem. But at that point I said, you need to tell the assembly person that you're not giving them to me. Well, fast forward 5, 6, 7 weeks later, earlier this week, the endorsed assembly person made a statement that I pulled the petitions. It's not true. Now, this could have been rectified instead of me coming here if a text message or a phone call to the other radio station or to the individual was returned. Could have explained it. We would have moved on. But I can't in good conscience have this go out and not respond. So, that's my response. At least you get both sides of the story. On Monday, you get one side. You don't get the other. So at least here, they're able to hear my side of it. Now, believe what you want, take whatever you want out of it, but I'm not going to be, accused of something that I didn't do, and not respond in some capacity.
Can I?
Please jump in here.
Okay. Hey, it's Bill. How are you?
Yes, Bill. Slow down.
Actually, it's funny you said that. Everybody has their brakes on. Okay. So, do you feel this is a part of the county chairman's goal to basically put his people in? We're talking about Mr. Rozier, to put his minions in every leadership position and take control of the city committees and ultimately take complete control of the county. Is this a part of that agenda?
If the current leadership of the county is attempting to put people of like-minded thought in those positions, then that's what they can do. They can run delegates against other delegates. That's how they did it. And honestly, that's what they're finding out now with other groups that are running delegates to gain control back at the county. If that's their intentions, that's fine. I mean,
that's the process. That's
the process. But from the very beginning, I was never opposed to change. What I'm opposed to is exclusiveness. Okay? And I will give you an example. We decided to rewrite the bylaws. I have no problem rewriting the bylaws. There's sections of the bylaws that should be rewritten. But it was October, and we were running November elections. And I said, look, why don't we do this in January or February? When we have time to really sit down and do it. Nope, didn't want to hear it. In fact, I'll expand on it. When I was told I would not be given the assembly person's petition, this is what they said. You're an obstruction. I go, why am I an obstruction? Because you have an opposing view. And my response was, so what you're saying to me is someone that has a opposite idea or another thought is considered an obstructionist? And it all builds off of that. So you go back to the bylaw situation, I wasn't opposed to it, but because I voiced a different opinion, when they picked the bylaws committee, now you have large subdivisions within, so the county is the governing body over the subdivisions, Utica, Rome, New Hartford, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
You pick no leadership from your two largest subdivisions not to sit on that bylaws committee because you're only looking for like-minded people. That's exclusion.
Right.
Okay.
And this would be the same, I'm assuming the same situation. And for instance, the Republican Party, the reason there is a primary is people will pick sides. One, maybe you pick Gentile as the candidate, and somebody else might pick his opponent. And ultimately, after the primary, everybody, mostly, for the most part, people agree to say we're all on the same team. I'm putting my support behind the winner of the primary. That's customary, and I'm assuming you, as a responsible member of the Republican committee, that's how you do business.
So there are two things that float around that always kind of astounded me about this whole thing. The first is the endorsed assembly person makes a comment that it's against the bylaws to not carry the endorsed candidate. Now, you could carry whatever you want until the primary is over, and then you always follow the endorsed candidate. However, the individuals on the county executive committee, I can think of two races in the last 2 or 3 years where they were carrying the non-endorsed candidate before the primary. The mayor's race of 2024 and the legislative race of 2025 in New Hartford. And you can see that because I looked at the petitions and I saw who carried the petitions and I saw who signed those petitions. I
think that might have happened in the county executive race as well. I could be wrong.
Yeah. And then, I mean, the really final point of this is when they first began to have fundraisers, I went because I'm like, okay, we're going to make some changes. We're going to raise some money. We're going to spend that money. After the second fundraiser, and we're running candidates in the city of Utica, and the county chair came to the meeting, saw what we were doing. By the way, I was accused of having secret meetings. I was having secret meetings with electeds, people running for office. We were going over financing, petitions, palm cards, things like that. Those are secret meetings. So they came. He said, you guys are doing some wonderful things. And when you run, I would like to, financially support you. This is wonderful. 9 races, not a single penny came from the county into the city races. So at this point, I'm not going to any more fundraisers. Because what are we doing with the money?
Right, where's
we're
the money
defending.
go?
We're defending legal cases. We're defending ourselves against a delegate that wasn't heard at a meeting. Is that what we're raising money for?
Steve, so it's likely, am I correct, Jim Zecca is likely to be the new city chair?
I wouldn't say that.
No.
You're not going to know who first.
Well, I just got a message from Jim. I want you to react to this. He sent me a screenshot. I'm going to pass my phone to you. He says, then why did Steve Ruffero do this? He personally filed an objection to the petitions we all carried for our endorsed candidate for the 119th Assembly District, Dan Fusco. Ask him. And then he sent me a screenshot of a petition. I'll pass it over to you.
I did object to him because I was going through some of them, and I thought there's some irregularities. And as a member of the Republican Party, it's my right to object. Just like, why did he object to my petitions in South Utica? He has the right to do that. I'm not here saying.
If
I'm not.
If
wait,
I
am not saying
calling the kettle black.
Right.
If that's Jim Zecca saying
right.
that. Come on.
So I don't want to bring names up, but when Mike Galimi ran for mayor, Mike was endorsed. Jim went out and got petitions for Bob Cardillo. I don't hold it against Jim. I don't hold it against Bob. That's their right to do. So why would he say, how could I object to his petitions? It's the same reason he objected to mine. He saw irregularities and he exercised his right.
We are joined in studio by Steve Ruffero. He's the current City of Utica Republican chairman. We're going to continue this conversation because we're right up against the clock here at the end of the hour. This is an ongoing issue, and I'm getting a bunch of messages, actually, from one of them from the mayor. We'll back after this.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
We're about to hear from the War Secretary. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. On day 4 of the military blockade of Iran's ports in the Strait of Hormuz.
The United States says it's not letting any ships in or out of the Iranian coastline. CENTCOM writing yesterday an Iranian-flagged cargo vessel tried to evade the U.S. blockade after leaving Bandar Abbas, exiting the Strait of Hormuz, and transiting along the Iranian coastline. The guided missile destroyer USS Spruance successfully redirected the vessel, which is heading back to Iran.
Fox's Matt Finn also reports from Dubai 10 ships have been turned around in all. The U.S. is also readying what Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent calls the financial equivalent of the bombing of Iran before the ceasefire. Sanctions on countries that buy Iranian oil or hold Iran's money in banks. President Trump might not like this. Pope Leo speaking out again, just saying in Cameroon on his African trip.
Jesus told us, blessed are the peacemakers.
And the Pope added, woe to those who manipulate religion for their own military and economic and political gain.
But President Trump also not backing down. In a recent Truth Social post this week, writing, will someone please tell Pope Leo that Iran has killed at least 42,000 innocent, completely unarmed protesters in the last 2 months, and that for Iran to have a nuclear bomb is absolutely unacceptable.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. A loss in court for Live Nation and Ticketmaster. A jury sided with more than 30 states with a verdict that the companies overcharged people at concerts and sporting events operating an illegal monopoly.
And used its control over tours, venues, and ticketing to box out competition and drive up prices. Live Nation pushed back at trial, arguing it competes fairly in a crowded market and denying it pressures venues to use Ticketmaster, but the jury was not persuaded.
Lydia Hu with Fox Business. It's special election day in New Jersey. Voters choosing who will take the House seat left vacant when Democrat Mikey Sherrill became governor. Republican Joe Hathaway facing a Bernie Sanders-backed progressive Anna Lilia Mejia. America's listening to Fox News.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF, and see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
President Trump continues to insist that the 2020 election he lost to Joe Biden was rigged. And the pushback to that continues. In a Democrat-led state, California, where a Trump lawyer who helped the president try to overturn 2020 results has lost his law license.
The California Supreme Court orders John Eastman disbarred and removed from the state's list of attorneys, upholding a state bar court judge's recommendation 2 years ago. Eastman urged then Vice President Pence to block the certification of Joe Biden's Electoral College victory on the day of the Capitol riot. Pence refused. Eastman argues he's being punished simply for giving legal advice, and his attorney says they'll take the case to the Supreme Court. Eastman's law license is suspended in Washington, D.C. Criminal charges were dismissed in Georgia and put on hold in Arizona. Chris Foster, Fox News.
President Trump's also causing construction controversy in Washington. While he fights legal challenges to the new ballroom he's building at the White House, he's planning a new D.C. monument.
To celebrate the 250th anniversary of American independence, the Department of Interior is submitting plans for a 250-foot-tall triumphal arch to be built near the Lincoln Memorial in Arlington National Cemetery.
Great nations build beautiful structures that cultivate national pride and love of country.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the project should be supported by Americans of all political persuasions.
Long after everyone in this room is gone, our children and grandchildren will remain inspired by this national monument.
A veterans group is suing to stop the project, arguing the arch would disrupt sight lines of the National Cemetery and was not approved by Congress. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could rise again. Futures are higher the day after the NASDAQ and S&P 500 closed at record highs. In the NBA, Philadelphia played their way into the playoffs, beating Orlando. The Magic can still get the last seed in the East, playing Charlotte tomorrow. In the West, Golden State eliminated the LA Clippers. The Warriors will play the Phoenix Suns for the 8th seed. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Cloudy skies, 64 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. More details being released about the alleged school shooting plot in Oneida County at Clinton. One of the suspects, a 14-year-old girl, was reportedly obsessed with the 1999 Columbine tragedy in Colorado and said the shooting would be a way for bullies to feel her pain. The shooting was planned for tomorrow in the cafeteria at Clinton Middle School during lunch. 2 other teens are also charged in connection with the case. Still no deal for a state budget in Albany. For the second time this week, lawmakers will meet to vote on a budget extender. Still no word on when the legislature and Governor Hochul will reach a deal, which is now more than 2 weeks late. An agreement was not approved last year until 40 days after the April 1st deadline. A Rome mother facing charges after police said they found her young daughter alone in a bathtub. They responded to a home on Palmer Ave for a welfare check and found the child, who was under the age of 2, unattended in the tub. The child was not injured. Police say they found the child's mother, 34-year-old Carrie Bachman, unconscious but breathing inside the home. They say that they found drug paraphernalia, including empty marijuana bags, and the child is now reportedly safe. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time. We're going quick here, 8:07. Here's your quick Weather Center forecast.
I talked about yesterday being our day for severe weather today, and it looks like we will see some stronger storms, especially this afternoon. Some showers around this morning, maybe a thunderstorm. This afternoon, storms could contain some strong, damaging straight-line winds, maybe some hail. Could be a brief tornado. Temperatures will be well into the 70s, about 75. Showers, thunderstorms early tonight, then showers, upper 50s, and a chance of showers and thunderstorms again on Friday, upper 60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stejcik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, 64 degrees at 8:07. Moving quickly in sports, the Mets lost their 8th straight yesterday as they were swept by the Dodgers 8-2, the final. Clay Holmes took the loss. The Yankees got another walk-off win against the Angels, 5-4. Jose Caballero ended the game with a 2-run double in the bottom of the 9th. The Yankees have won 2 of 3. and they will close out their 4-game series with the Angels coming up later today. Also in the NFL, they are taking steps to replace the current NFL officials. There's an onboarding process for potential replacement officials in the expiration of its CBA with the NFL Referees Association. Several replacements have completed background checks with league security, and they will soon be given physical exams. The current CBA expires on May 31st. All right, it is 8:08. We'll jump back into the conversation here. I'm getting texts from all over. Let's see. Jim's just sending me like 9 documents here. I don't know. I can't read through all these. I have another comment here, and Steve, I want you to react to this. Councilperson Sam Testa says, I have a primary for my committee seat, in which it's the district I live in, from a guy that lives in Deerfield. He said he has no idea he had to run for a committee seat, and this is coming from Rozier.
You want me to react to that?
Yes.
So I don't know what they're telling the individuals, because I'm not in those meetings, about if they're running other delegates. This has been a discussion we've had for a number of years, is that the delegates should live in the neighborhoods. Because a delegate's like an elected official. So if you live next door to me, Jeff, and say you're a Democrat, a Republican, I don't care what you are, but you say, hey, Steve, I'm having problems with my fence, my neighbor, and this and that. And if I know the council person, I might call them and say, hey, can you help Jeff out with this or discrepancy? Yeah. A delegate is a person that listens to his neighbors. So having somebody from Deerfield or Verona or Marshall run in the city of Utica, in more than likely, they're not getting their signatures. There's somebody who's getting their signatures for them. More than likely, if you go back and you look at the petitions, Mr. Zecca collected a lot of signatures for individuals. If you wanted to bring his name up, I can bring it up now.
Go ahead.
I did. So the person that's running against Sam, I think in 6'4" or 6'5", wherever she is a delegate, more than likely, one of the county individuals went in and got those signatures. Because what they're trying to do is what Bill was talking about earlier. They're trying to get the people that are not like thinking off the committee so they can control the committee. No, it's not illegal to do that, okay? But that's what they're doing.
Let's see here. This is from Councilperson Testa. What does Steve think about Frank Miola going to meetings and telling the rest of the council how to vote? Of course, Miola is the city controller.
I mean, here, I'm going to answer this like if Sam asked me directly, which he has. My responsibility as the Republican city chair is to get Republicans elected in different wards. Once you're elected, you shouldn't be listening to me. You should be listening to constituents that got you there. So that would be my response to, and I don't even know if Mr. Miola is doing that, but that is my response. That's my responsibility, and that's my response.
This is from Mayor Michael Galimi. It's really unfortunate to see this. These individuals were very concerned that Steve was going to do what they did during the mayor's race, namely use the committee-led packet distribution and signature drive to collect for the candidate that was not endorsed. The reality is he wasn't, because he has integrity and is in his position. Steve was doing his job appropriately, and in order to make their accusations real, they wouldn't provide him with the materials to do so. The fact that Zecca is part of this should explain all of it. And that's from Mayor Mike Galimi there.
So I'm not going to personally make an observation of anyone. I appreciate that from the mayor. We're friends, so people are probably saying, well, he's supporting his friend. But that's true. I mean, there are times where I was the co-chair or just on the committee where I would go. I'll give you an example. What was the Constitutional Caucus, I don't know if they still exist, but at one point I showed up at one of their meetings. They were taking the packets apart and putting their candidates' petitions within the packets. We don't do that. I don't do that. But if they did that, that's wrong. But see, when you do something wrong, you normally will accuse someone else of it. So now it makes it okay.
All right, so in Jim Zecca messaging here, he says, nothing personal, just politics as usual in Utica and Oneida County. Ask Steve about Mr. Pacenti's employees being asked to serve on committee seats. Quite unethical, I think. You know anything about this?
Well, I mean, if people live in the city of Utica and they live in those districts and they want to be delegates, what's illegal about that? Is it any different than I'm asking a person from Verona to sit in a ward in Utica? It's not illegal. Listen, but they might not be knowledgeable. They might not be effective. We weaken the system. And this is where the problem lies. It started years and years ago when you put delegates in to get endorsements. And then those delegates they weren't interested in being in the committee, so they weren't doing anything. So you have complacency. And this is where this group came in and took advantage of that. Now, listen, when they came in, they could have easily led by including people in conversations. But what do? We look for like-minded people, and we close out the people that object or have other ideas. And that's exactly what it is. That basic statement that I just said to you when I went to the office. You're an obstructor. Why? Because you have a different view. Gee.
Yeah.
That's democracy.
I could see getting people together who are on the same page, have the same goals, or are, quote, like-minded, but I don't agree that makes you an obstructor because you have a different take on it.
In an actuality, when you put people in a room, look, any elected official, any company person that's running, you don't surround yourself. Look at Tim and Earl. I'm sure they didn't surround themselves at the boiler company with everybody that agrees with them. You bring other people in who have a different set of eyes, a different set of ideas, and guess what? By the time you're done, more than likely, you've got a better position, a better company. But that's not what's going on here.
I'm getting the messages. I'll ask you to react to them. He says, this is Jim Zecca. He says, Steve is wrong. Somebody from Verona can't serve in Utica because it's a different assembly district.
Okay,
he also claims that you no longer live in District 3-3 and don't live in the district that you represent.
I don't have to live in 3-3. I mean, I live in the city of Utica, which is in the same assembly district.
Okay.
So before Jim makes accusations, he better clarify what he's talking about. Because see, this is the problem. We don't tell the truth. And if we tell it long enough, they think it becomes the truth. And this is what I did not want to get into with these people. I came in to clarify misinformation that was being said on another radio station. And if they had answered the phone, answered a text, I wouldn't be sitting here. But see, the problem is, I always say this, don't get into the deep waters of debating with your waders on. Okay? Don't say something that you can't confirm in some type of public information. So Jim could sit there and text whatever he wants. He can come in here, we can sit. I'm friendly with Jim, I have been, but I'm not going to have this go on.
Yeah, that's your quote of the day. Do not go into deep waters with waders on, because you will sink. That's dangerous too while you're out there fishing in West Canada.
So what's the process from here?
We run primaries on any place where there's two separate sets of delegates. They go to a primary. People go in and vote for them. Whoever gets the most vote becomes that delegate. From that delegation, they'll pick new leadership. So there's a lot of people that are running. So there's no clear cut yet. I will not be running again because I'm off the committee. As of October, I will sit in this chair as chairperson until they have the reorganizational meeting. And at that point, I might be reappointed. But I never had an idea of running again. I said I would step in for a couple of years to try this, to calm the waters, to try to get things on the same page so we can move forward. But listen, as a person who's involved in politics, especially in leadership, there are two things you do. You win races with candidates and you raise money, okay? So let's see at the end of these election cycles, these group of individuals, how many candidates they got and how many elections they won. Because I'll give you this, and this is the truth.
Yeah.
There are 9 races in the city of Utica in the last elections. Do you want to know how many people the county brought to the table? None. Okay? That's part of their responsibility. Raise the money, spend the money on the candidates, back the candidates. It's not about you. It's about them. You want to find out how popular you are, put your name on a ballot and let somebody step into a small room and cast the vote.
You said earlier, I believe you said that the county committee gave $0 to those 9 candidates.
0.
How much do they usually? Does the county committee usually supports as far as helping by advertising and such, or signs or something like that?
I don't know. But their chairman, our chairman of the county, came to the meeting. I will financially and physically support you, and then never again heard anything from them.
Bill, I'm sorry. I know you're still on the phone with us, and I wasn't trying to box you out of the conversation. Anything you want to add or react to?
I would just ask, I was just telling my wife, it looks like we're coming into a thunderstorm, so that'll be fun.
Brief tornado.
A brief tornado.
Slow down, Bill.
Just that. So I just wanted to ask, what do you think, I think there's a confusion here from Jim Zecca Jim. I know he's listening, and Mr. Rozier, who is probably listening as well. I think they're confused as to what. I think they're confused as to what the chairmanship and having the majority of the committee, what that actually accomplishes. Ultimately, as you've said, it's raising money and picking candidates. You're not going to run the county, right? I mean, explain what that position, what the power of what they're trying to accomplish actually holds.
Bill, I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. I can only speak in the fear that I practice in, and that's what I do. I pick candidates, and I help them get elected. Excuse me. It's like the discussion we had about Sam. It is not my responsibility to go and tell the electeds what to do. The chairs are normally of the Republican or the Democrat or whatever party are there to raise money, screen candidates, and get them elected. You're not running the county. You're not running the city. You're not running the village. Those are to the elected officials who are put there by constituents, not by the committees.
Lance and Lee says, didn't he just say that you should live in the district that you represent? And then you had said, I don't know, Jim raised an issue about where you live, and you said you don't need to live in the district.
Right. You need to live in the assembly district. But what I'm saying is, for the most constructive purpose, the person should live within the district.
Let me ask you this as well.
I lived in 3-3 at one point until my wife and I separated. Then I moved out of 3-3.
I believe you had said earlier, why didn't I just get signatures 13, 14, 15? It was, you needed a dozen, and that was exactly what you got?
Yes, I did. And that's my fault. That's my responsibility and my fault. But also as a chairperson, I was out getting signatures for one of the legislators, two of the other delegates who I know who couldn't get out because one broke their leg and one was having a medical issue. So as a chairperson, you pick those responsibilities. And I did when I took the position. I'm not here saying, boo-hoo, I'm not going to be on the committee. I'm here saying, this is what they said, and this is the truth. So they can make whatever they want of it.
All right. Steve Ruffero, currently the City of Utica Republican chairman. Bill, anything else we want to ask or add?
I think it's a return to old-time Utica politics. When Jim Zecca was involved.
On the other side, though. He was on the other side of the
He was on the other side. He
was a Democrat, yes. And the other part of this is they're not picking candidates that are electable. They're picking candidates that are like-minded, and especially in the cities like Utica and in Rome. They're not picking winnable candidates. And the role of the committee would be to get Republicans elected, I would think.
And also we talked about the financial support. More to come on this, I feel. Whether it's Steve, whether it's from you, but we've heard from other members who were not happy or taken aback by the way the process has changed and the way the power has swung there. I'm sure we'll be talking about this again.
But if you want to change the power and the influence and where it's going, you got to get involved. You can't sit on the sidelines and say, gee, I wish. Run as a delegate, run as a person for an office. Get in touch with the individuals that are there and talk to them. If you want to make change, you got to take part in the process. And you can't fault these people for making the change that they wanted. They got involved in the process. But tell the truth.
Yeah. That's very important, especially when you're talking about somebody else. And the other part of this is you must give them credit because they are these, you call them like-minded people, like-minded with Ken Rozier, the chairman. They're hard workers. They get out, they get the job done. And if you want to balance the committee, the other side's got to get out there and get the job done.
True.
Yeah. All right, Steve, thank you for coming in.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Bill, safe travels, and we'll see you on Monday.
Good deal. Enjoy the next and listen. I
when
love
the snow
Joe.
comes back.
Joe's like, wait a minute, wait a minute. Bill's not gonna be in. I am definitely coming in because the green light is on.
Plugorama.
The green light is on.
He said you were definitely coming in because he wasn't here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in on some topics here today, Bill, huh?
Oh, Lordy. Listen, I'll see you guys Monday.
I'll see you Monday, Bill. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
All right, it is First News Keeler in the morning, 8:22. We'll take a quick time out. We're about to be joined by Farmer Ben. The high cost of fertilizer, I think a poll came out, 70% of farmers don't think they'll have enough fertilizer for this upcoming growing season. We'll talk to him about that and other things as well. Steve, thank you for coming in. A quick time out. We'll come back with more on WIBX.
At Community Memorial, we have one goal: to help you get better. Like better emergency services with our new ER in Hamilton. And for sudden minor injuries and illnesses, we offer convenient walk-in clinics for fast, same-day care. There's now better access to orthopedic care from our world-class specialists, the latest advanced robotic technology, and walk-in clinics in New Hartford, Cazenovia, and Hamilton. We now offer quicker access to breast biopsies and colonoscopies because faster is better. And better community care with in-house surgical and rehab teams in Hamilton and 6 regional primary care offices. Plus, get access to better diagnostics with the latest MRI and CT imaging. Better. That's our commitment throughout the entire CMH healthcare system, providing better experiences with better services to support better outcomes. Learn more at communitymemorial.org and get better at CMH in Hamilton.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GAME to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GAME for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GAME for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Friday means another 50-50 Friday. This week, score a $50 gift certificate to the Closet Boss in Clinton for just $25, exclusively through this station's website. Discover Closet Boss in Clinton, a locally sourced upscale consignment boutique. Your destination for a curated collection of new and gently pre-loved designer fashion. For less, head to this station's website this Friday morning, click the 50-50 Friday link, and grab your $50 gift certificate for just $25 while they last.
Start your Sunday with smart conversation and fresh perspective. It's This Weekend with Gordon Deal. Gordon brings you the news, interviews, and stories that matter most from across the country and right here in central New York. Join listeners from Utica to Rome, Herkimer to New Hartford, and everywhere in between for This Weekend with Gordon Deal. Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM. Stay informed with WIBX.
This
Hi,
is an
Billy
America
Mays here with the
250
brand new
Minute
Keeler.
brought to you by Oneida County America 250 Commission. I'm Leslie Rainey, Regent of Oneida Chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution.
And I'm Alexis Albright, historian for Oneida County and the village of Oriskany.
April 16. What are we celebrating on July 4th? Back in 1776, America's founding document was signed, the Declaration of Independence. On July 4th, 2026, we celebrate America's 250th anniversary of the signing of this important document.
We will bring you a series of history minutes over the coming months as we celebrate America 250, the semi-quincentennial of America's founding. From the Declaration of Independence to its signers and key events that lead to American independence, like the Battle of Oriskany, we'll celebrate both our national history and the unique history of Oneida County in the Mohawk Valley. And we want you to love the history where you live.
Hi, Billy Mays here with the brand new Keeler Kill Switch. When that morning show starts yapping about something you can't stand, don't reach for the dial. Just press this big red button and BAM!
This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
We are back. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. I have in my hands here.
Before that,
yeah, go ahead, Joe.
I did want to stick around because Farmer Ben is here. He's my man when it comes to pigs and wood.
Thank you very much for that, Joe. I love the plug.
In that order?
You got to eat and you got to have heat, right? So eat and heat, that's my guy. I do want to say, though, because I got to get out of here, but I'll be back tomorrow. I have a lot to talk about still.
Obviously.
I didn't get to hardly any of it today, but I just want to say if you're out and about tonight and you're looking for something to do, Alder Creek, Kratzy's, 6 to 9. It's a ladies' 80s happy hour with me, Joe Load. And I got T-shirts made up for anybody that comes dressed in their 80s apparel. We'll get T-shirts, and we got those little gummy bracelets from the 80s. We're going to have a lot of fun. All 80s music. I used to do the Friday night thing, but it's Thursday night tonight at Kratzy's, 6 to 9.
I love how you cut
I'll
that
bring the
promo.
wife out.
Stop out. It'll be a good time.
It's a ladies' 80s night with me,
Yeah.
Joe Load.
and while you're there, you can have they make the most delicious chowder I've ever had. A nice
My
seafood
wife
chowder.
loves chowder. Robin loves it.
They do a great job there at Kratzy's in Alder Creek, and we'll see you tomorrow. And more plugs, don't worry. Thanks, Farmer Ben.
Thank you,
We'll see
Joe.
you later.
Thank you, Joe.
Have a great
Nice to
day.
see you, Tim.
Good to see you, Joe. Oh, my Lord.
Joe is awesome, and he'll be filling in tomorrow as well. Like we say, Bill's back on Monday. I have in my hands here the latest edition of Mohawk Valley.
I'm hoping that before you go with the plug, I'm hoping that Carrie Byrne Putello, which owns the Mohawk Valley Living, is listening. So go ahead. I love
Yes, you are featured in here. This is a pretty thick magazine.
Yep.
It's a great magazine.
It's a monthly.
Yep,
Yeah.
once a month, called the Mohawk Valley Living. And
Where the season begins. April in the Mohawk Valley is not flashy, it's foundational, and this is a piece that you wrote.
Yes, yep. So just quickly, we're getting off my thing, but this is great. So back last October, the owner of this magazine, the name Mohawk Valley Living, the TV show and the magazine, Carrie Byrne Putello, contacted me about writing a story about Chobani coming to the Mohawk Valley. And so make a long story short, she reached out to me and says, Ben, I'd like you to read the article that I've written about it and see what you think about like a quote for how the Chobani will change the dairy industry. And so I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to come right up front with it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say.
I have your quote right here. It says, it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be
He
good.
said, he asked AI.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I thought about it, and I conferred with my good friend Rob, the sheriff, and because he inspires me with a lot of articles at times. And so, make a long story short, Chobani definitely is going to change the face of the dairy industry, and not just here in Oneida County, but all of the Mohawk Valley and the whole region. No question, it's going to happen. And so I reminisced a little bit with the sheriff about different things, Rob Mashel. And make a long story short, back Jesse Williams built the first commercial standardized cheese plant in the whole United States. And it started right here in Rome, New York by the fish hatchery right there on 46.
Wow. Okay.
And so I thought, that would make a good, whatever you want to call, comparing, because Jesse Williams created the first commercial cheese factory, buying milk from many, many, many farmers and standardizing the process of cheese. And here we are, I'm just going to throw out 100 plus years later, you've got Chobani that is basically put Chobani yogurt on the map. Everybody used to think yogurt back in the old days. Now everybody loves yogurt because of Chobani. Yep. So I tied that into a quote, and ever since last October, Carrie Byrne Putello reaches out to me once a month, and she asked me to write something about the agricultural community in her magazine. So I thought I'd bring it in. I end up with a whole lot of these copies, so everywhere I go, I hand them out to all my friends and neighbors, and it's a free magazine. It's always at the lower part of the Stewart Shop's newspaper rack. Yeah. So please read.
Very cool. You can check it out.
It's a beautiful picture taken 1 year ago with my son's tractor, disking a field we own, getting ready to plant soybeans.
That is a great shot. Let me ask you this, Ben, because you're talking about April being, as I skim through this article here, in investments, the investment time of the year.
Very much.
What happens this summer and in the fall, those decisions are made now. I'm hearing we had a poll that was like 70% of farmers nationwide say they're not going to be able to buy enough fertilizer that they need for the upcoming year because of the spike in energy prices and what's going on, essentially with the situation with Iran and the downstream effects of that. That's part of the investment, right? Is
very much
being able to fertilize your land.
Yeah, to fertilize, what you got to do. Everybody talks about fertilizer, but let's put it in simple layman's terms. Fertilizer is food for the crop. That's it. It's the food for the crop. You cannot plant a crop of corn, soybeans, wheat, anything you can think of, any crop, even hay, year after year after year, and keep harvesting from the land and not put something back. You have to feed it, or you're going to starve the land, and then you have no crop. So I think that number that you read there or something is 70% of the farmers are going to have a problem. No, I'm going to take that back and say that that's not quite accurate because our planting season in the United States started before the war. I call it the war, or the military conflict. I want to make it quick. So before that conflict over there in Iran and the Hamas Strait, or Strait of Hamas, farmers in Texas, Southern California, working up through Southern Florida and all the way up through, they were already planting. They already had their inputs, their seeds, their fertilizer, and their needs. The ones that are really being affected by this are the farmers in central United States and north, all the way up to us and all the way up into Minnesota, Illinois, the northern hemisphere of the United States. They're the ones going to feel it. The fertilizer person was at my farm yesterday, and fertilizer is available. How much do you want to spend? And that's where it is. Fertilizers are made, especially nitrogen, is made where mostly fuel oil is produced, where they manufacture oils and natural gas. It takes massive amounts of natural gas to make nitrogen. The other products like phosphate and phosphorus are a chemical, and then potash and phosphorus too are a stone. Potash is made from ashes and chemicals and things of that nature. So it is available. It's just the problem is the crop prices right now are what they were in the 80s because of all the trade imbalances and everything that's going on. The prices to our commodities are so low, but the inputs are so high, and it's been going on for a couple of years now. So that's where we're running into crunch time. So what's going to happen? The farmers are going to have to cut back on the amount of fertilizer they use to feed their crops. So the yields will be down. No question about it. So I hope that in layman terms made sense. Does that make sense, Mr. Reed?
Yes, it does. So
if I can get through to you, I know I can get through to the listeners.
Well, I'm not sure what that means, but I think I just got insulted.
No.
So I had heard one of the places where a lot of the fertilizers came from was from Ukraine. Is that
is
true?
Correct? Absolutely. Only out of the straits over there, a very small portion. Like for instance, 44% of the phosphate that comes in the United States for fertilizer comes from China, and then all the nitrogen in the United States, a third of that comes from China. Comes from different parts of the world. So they're using this military problem over there in Iran to bump the price up like fuel oil, gasoline and diesel fuel. There really is no reason for that to be doing what it's doing because of only 5% of our fuel comes through that strait.
Right.
And the United States is producing, but it's called market conditions. Everybody plays the markets. So that's what's really going on. So I really want to emphasize to everybody that the farmers are really going to be struggling this year. They're talking to their bankers. They're borrowing money. It's going to be a very, very expensive crop. Normal, I'm going to kind of give you some averages. Past few years to grow an acre of corn, grain corn, it's in that $800 an acre range just to grow it. That's kind of a high end, but it's a good number. My son yesterday was talking to the fertilizer guy that we order a lot of our chemicals from our farm to grow our corn and soybeans on our farm, and it's going to be crowding close to $1,000 an acre, if not even a little more. Wow.
As opposed to what last year?
800. So
okay,
so what you're going to have to do is you got to kind of justify
25% increase
at least. Yep. And so what's going to happen is we got to adjust some numbers here because the price of the finished crop at the end of the year is already suppressed because of trade imbalances. It's just a backup of grain in the country.
And it seems to me the problem that farmers in our area and our zones in regards to it, because of our more temperate climates, is my sister lives in South Carolina. So they'll see a couple of different they'll see a couple different plantings or whatever that'll go through.
They call that double cropping.
Yeah. So you guys really, in many cases, have one crop.
Correct.
And if you end up with a lousy weather or whatever, I mean, you have everything. You have all your chips pushed in on this one thing.
I am glad you meant that. Most people don't realize that, but like in the Carolina, we just came back from Virginia.
Yeah.
They can harvest their winter wheat here in late June, go right back in and plant corn and get a really good corn harvest in October, November because they have longer growing season. Thank you, Mr. Reed, for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So.
All right, so here's what I referred to, and this came from the American Farm Bureau Federation. Analysis reveals almost 8 in 10 farmers in the southern U.S. say they can't afford all needed supplies this year, followed by the Northeast and West at 69 and 66% respectively. So in the Northeast, 69% of farmers say they can't afford all the supplies they need this year. Also on the pre-order fertilizer in the South, 19% pre-booked their fertilizer purchases. So obviously 81% did not. So they're seeing an increase. The conflict in the Middle East sent fertilizer and fuel prices soaring. The closure of the Strait of Hormuz is keeping critical fertilizer supplies and crude oil from reaching global markets, putting a squeeze on supplies around the world. So it was bad enough with the beef, bad enough with gas prices, but now the fertilizer creates obviously an additional expense as well, and that's going to drive up the price of pretty much everything.
Yep. And so I want to emphasize back
on one thing after another. When do we have the stories of, you're not going to believe this, prices are going down? We've got this problem here, and it's forcing prices down. It's one excuse after another, one reason after another. So that we got to pay more for everything.
Yep. So I want to go back to that part too. Is like there's no question the inputs are going to cost more money, and there's just no question. You're hearing it and everything. But what frustrates me is when I listen to the news, like the national news, and they say, well, ultimately it's going to push up the price of food to the consumer. Let me set you straight. The farmer, whether he's a corn grain farmer or any farmer that's a commercial farmer, does not set the price for his product, a commodity price. It's done on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So when they talk about food prices going up in the store because the farmer had to buy more expensive fertilizer, that's fake news because the farmer does not have that choice. So the farmers are takers, not setters. Unless you're dealing with like farmers markets, then those farmers can set their price and take it. So at the end of the day, the farmer is caught in the middle here with the crunch between high input costs and not only that, high transportation costs to move the product to the consumer. And the farmer does not walk into Walmart and say, hey, listen, the price of fertilizer is up. I got to charge more for that package of beets or carrots or that loaf of bread. It doesn't happen that way. The farmer is the price taker, not a price setter. So that goes back to my thing real quick. Make sure that if you want to support your local farmer and get the fresh, go to your local farmer's market. But at the end of the day, we are faced with a serious problem. And our bankers and our financial people are more than willing to work with the farmer because at the end of the day, the farmers have to feed the people, and the bankers know that. But there's been a record number of bankruptcies throughout the country because the price of commodities have been down the last couple of years. And so how we're going to play this on our farm, son and I were talking last night, is we're just basically going to have to roll back the amount of inputs we put in and just take the harvest that we can possibly get economically. We can't push for the high-end yields because we just can't afford that kind of fertilizer with the market of our end product being down. And at the end of the day, guys, ladies and gentlemen, Mother Nature rules it all. She controls the weather, and if we have a late frost or an early one in the fall, or we don't get no rain like last summer, remember how dry it was? So we're just going to take the risk and do the best we can.
So are there crops that are less demanding of fertilizers than others, so that people might make a decision to say, well, we can't do this, but we can plant that?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. So the most expensive crop in this atmosphere that we live in here in central New York, the most expensive crop out there to feed is corn. No question about it. Corn is very, very hard. I call it hard. Very demanding on soil and nutrients. That's why we do what we call rotational cropping. We rotate our crops. The easiest one to grow in our area, besides hay, that's my specialty, mine, Ben Simons is, and my son is corn and soybeans, is a soybean crop. So I'm thinking that you're going to see a lot of farmers switch away from corn and head towards soybeans or something that's not as demanding.
Right.
What farmers are doing right now is they're taking soil samples to find out exactly where the nutrient levels are in their soils so that they can plan on how much they have to spend and what they can get by with and skimp.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question no one can afford to buy the amount of fertilizer. And the point to that, too, is when you drive through rural Oneida County in central New York here in the next few weeks, it's already started, the spreading of liquid manure.
Oh, yeah.
And it stinks. I'm a farmer, and it stinks. But you want to know something? The reality is, ladies and gentlemen, that smell of manure to a farmer that is farming land is the smell of money. Right. Because it's putting nutrients back on the ground that was generated from that farm. So when you drive by a farm and go, oh, my God, it stinks, it's bad, it's terrible, I can't stand this, at the end of the day, it is offensive. I will admit it. I'm a farmer. It is. Yep. But you want to know something? The reality is it's springtime in the Mohawk Valley, and it is a smell of money, especially this year with the cost of fuel and fertilizer. Thank you.
Farmer Ben is joining us in studio. I want to touch on a couple of other things as well. We need to take a quick time out, though. We'll come back on the other side. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley, do not overpay for your next mattress. Mattress Express is upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Take advantage of our guaranteed lowest price program. Bring in any locally advertised price or quote on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. Furthermore, if within 90 days of purchase you see that mattress advertised for less, bring it to our attention. We will refund the difference. Selection, no one in New York State has all these brands under one roof except Mattress Express. Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh and Lavish, Therapeutic, Simmons Beauty Rest Black, Serta Eye Comfort, Avocado, and more. On New Hartford and Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. In Oneida and the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. And Rome on Black River Boulevard. Open 7 days a week. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
At Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, we are dedicated to helping you understand your benefits and how to use them. It's one of the reasons why, for the third straight year, we have been named #1 in customer satisfaction among Medicare Advantage plans in New York and #1 for ease of doing business by J.D. Power. We were named most trusted, too. We remain committed to giving you high-quality coverage and the best possible Medicare experience. Learn more at medicare.excellusbcbs.com. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
It all began in 1985 with a single goal, a commitment to brighten our community. And with your kindness, that light grew brighter. Because for 40 years, you've helped Food Bank of Central New York deliver healthy food and hope. But that need continues to grow. So this year, please consider giving a little extra and make sure the light we shine together never goes out.
Don't miss Clinton Tractor's spring sales event, April 16th through the 18th. We're giving you the best deals of the season on all of our inventory. Thousands of used and new equipment in stock, all in one location. Get 0% financing on new Ferris commercial mowers, Massey Ferguson, and New Holland equipment, and trailers and used equipment as low as 5.49%. Restrictions apply. It's Clinton Tractor's spring sales event, April 16th through the 18th. ClintonTractor.net.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Mattress Express is upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Bring in any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS or go to mattressexpressny.com.
Hurt in a car? Call William Matar. 315-444-4444.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
We are back. Cloudy skies, 64 degrees, another warm one today. It's kind of a up and down as we get into spring here. We get 70s, low 80s, and then Monday, cold with the chance of snow showers overnight.
Now, don't laugh about the snow showers, because some of us farmers, like us hay farmers, kind of enjoy a little bit of that late spring snow, because it actually adds nitrogen that filters through the air.
Poor man's fertilizer.
You got it, Mr. Reed. And it actually adds nitrogen that takes out of the air like a filter when it flows down through the air, and puts nitrogen in our soil. And so late spring snow is not a bad thing for the hay farmer.
This Tim Reed guy's not too bad, huh?
No, Mr. Reed is impressing me.
I'm a gentleman farmer. All apologies to gentlemen and farmers.
But I want to take just a moment here and thank Mr. Reed and his brother for the Boilermaker. And the reason is, and I've said it here on the show before, people don't realize it, but the number one refresher at the end of a road race that the runners are looking for, yes, they have a big, huge beer party. They really do.
Yeah.
But it's chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
So I want to commend you, Mr. Reed, and your brother for what you've done for the dairy industry. And people don't realize that, but that Boilermaker adds to the dairy industry.
So I actually had read that in a running magazine in regards to where a lot of runners were talking about it, and they had said chocolate milk was, and we had kind of missed the boat on it in regards to, and said
whole milk, chocolate milk.
Yeah, and I said we're kind of a dairy county. We should do this, and we ended up getting chocolate milk. It's a huge hit.
I'd love to be a part of that. If there's ever an opportunity to have Farmer Ben come down, I'd love to be a part of that. Thank you.
I know the CrossFitters love it as well, not just the runners. So before we let you go, you were at a press conference earlier this week. Our man Uncle Smitty saw you. It's about the farm vehicles that are out on the roads now at this time of year, and proper safety for not only the farmers operating that equipment, but drivers as well.
Yep. So 16 years ago, when Rob Mashel became elected the sheriff, there was also at that same time as he came in as sheriff, the governor was rewriting through Farm Bureau. We all kind of got in on this thing together, and it happened all at the same time. But they wanted to rewrite the book for what they call slow-moving vehicle sign, that orange triangle, okay? That was outdated.
Yep.
And so anyway, the sheriff got elected as sheriff, and he's a farm boy, as you know. And he asked me if I would be a representative, because on that committee that was held by the New York State Traffic Safety Council, that's who rewrote that book, asked me if I would represent the farm community here in Oneida County. He'd be the sheriff and I'd be the farmer kind of guy. And I said, sure. So we met in Syracuse a few different times with state police and other farmers and road traffic people from the DPW all over the state. We met a few times in Syracuse that winter and rewrote that book. And then it got passed by the legislature. It is law, the slow-moving vehicle law book. And Farm Bureau has it. The Oneida County Sheriff has a whole pile of them, usually in the back of their police cars in the rural areas. And so to make a long story short, ever since then, for the past 16 years, the Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mashel and Farmer Ben get together with Cornell Cooperative Extension, the Farm Bureau, and this year with Davey, our guy Davey here, and we do a press conference every year to make aware of the farmers that are now, the snow is gone, the roads are getting dry, everybody wants to go fast because they've been going slow with the snow. And we're trying to make an awareness that, listen, over that hill as you're doing 60 miles an hour, there could be a tractor that weighs 100,000 pounds with a disc harrow or a manure spreader behind it or any piece of farm machinery. And
good luck rear-ending that.
Yeah, it could be a sticking situation. Stinky. But anyway, and so we try to make everybody aware because we know, we always read the paper about the Amish buggies that get in an accident and they're agriculture related. So every year for the last 16 years, we all get together and we do a press conference to make an awareness. Everybody slow down. The point of the thing is, if you got a tractor that's going down the road 20 miles an hour, no question about it, and you're coming up behind that tractor or piece of farm machinery at 55 miles an hour, and by the time you see that SMV sign, it's a proven stat. You have 7 seconds. Before, because the speed of the tractor doing 20 and you're doing 55, you have 7 seconds to react to that. And if you don't, you're going to have a collision. No question, it's stats. Statistics don't lie. that 5 times likely when you rear end a piece of farm machinery, there is a fatality. You got a 100,000-pound tractor and piece of machinery going down the road. It takes up 3/4 of the road, and you got a car that weighs 4,000 pounds. I don't need to tell you how that's going to work out. It doesn't work out well for the motorist. So we do not want that to happen. The other thing, too, that we're trying to emphasize is the Amish community. That them little buggies are made out of really thin little plywood sticks and boards and some steel wheels and a horse. You run into one of them, most of the time in them Amish buggies, you have younger children in them. And they don't stand up to your car. So then there's a fatality on that side, besides the horse. I mean, it just happens. So we're trying to, the sheriff and I, and we just want everybody to be aware that this is our time. And at the end of the day, Davey heard this the other day, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, us farmers are in the road. We know it. We have very large equipment because less than 2% of the population is feeding the rest of the country. So we need big equipment to cover the land, to plant the crops, to raise the food for you, the motorist. At the end of the day, the motorist is our customer. Right. You are our customer. So we're in their way. We know we are. But at the end of the day, please be patient with us because we are growing the food for you. So thank you.
Farmer Ben, thank you. We appreciate it as always, the updates, and I'm sure we'll talk to you soon. Hopefully as the cost of fuel and fertilizer come down.
Pick up your Mohawk Valley Living. I have a really nice addition in there.
And before we let you go, I want to end on this note. I'm wondering, we need to get our hands on one of those slow-moving vehicle signs.
Absolutely.
We want to affix it to the back of Davey's wheelchair at tonight's Citron Wheelchair basketball game. I have a feeling he's going to be struggling to get up and down the court
I
there a
do
little
believe
bit.
the sheriff will be there. So if the sheriff will bring a slow-moving vehicle sign for Davey.
Put it right on Davey's chair. I'm sorry, buddy. We're having a little fun with you. John Decker joins us. Of course, he is the chief White House correspondent for Gray TV. And, John, I want to ask you about the latest on the situation in Iran, the blockade.
Sure.
Gas prices here in this community, I saw them go down, I think, a full dime yesterday at least. What are you working on today, John?
Well, that's good. I mean, what I see is that gas prices are certainly leveling off. So they're not going up every day like they were, over the course of the past few weeks. And what we see with the financial markets, they're already extremely optimistic, thinking that this conflict could be coming to an end relatively soon. That's the reason why the S&P hit a new high yesterday. So certainly following that and waiting to see when the second round of peace negotiations may occur. The president speaking to Fox News yesterday, indicating that could happen relatively soon, the next, 48 to 72 hours, also in Islamabad, Pakistan. The first round, of course, Vice President Vance, who led that U.S. delegation, came home empty-handed. But the president said earlier this week that they're still talking indirectly. So following that, and also we see that the effort as it relates to the blockade of those Iranian ports, it's going well. So that's a good thing, denying that oil revenue to Iran.
Of course, though, that means the entire world kind of loses 20% of that oil market, though, right?
Well, yeah, the Strait of Hormuz is not what it was before this conflict began, when over 100 ships would go through the strait every day. Now it's like less than 20, if that. So that is certainly impacting oil prices, which remain extremely elevated. Oil was trading around $55 a barrel before this conflict began. And, in the recent 2 weeks or so, we've seen oil well above $100 a barrel. So a significant increase. And of course, that is passed along to the consumer. That's the reason for our high gas prices.
John, I see as well, I think the U.S. government took out another boat in the Pacific, I guess alleged drug smugglers.
Yeah, that mission goes on. So our military is really flexing its power and authority, not only in the Middle East, but also as it relates to the Caribbean, the Pacific, going after alleged drug boats, and that's what we saw happen yesterday. We see this happen now a little bit infrequently, certainly not like we saw last year when it was happening almost on a daily basis.
Hey, John, I guess it's been somewhat historic in regards to that we've seen that Israel and Lebanon are having direct talks. Do you see the Iranians continuing to cling to this, that there has to be some sort of resolution of that conflict before there's some sort of an agreement between the United States and Iran?
Yeah, the president has said that is a complication, and I think the Israelis recognize that. In other words, I don't think you can have a peace deal reached between the United States and Iran without having a peace deal being reached involving Israel and Lebanon. I think the two go hand in hand, and Israeli and Lebanese officials meeting here in Washington earlier this week aimed at getting that kind of agreement in place.
Yeah. All right, John Decker from Great TV, the chief White House correspondent, will be watching you later today. Thank you, John.
Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend.
You
Talk
too.
To you soon.
That
Bye-bye.
is John Decker, as we said, the chief White House correspondent from Great TV. We're wrapping up here for a Thursday morning. Farmer Ben, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me, and look forward to coming back again.
Absolutely.
You guys are very gracious.
And Tim Reed, a pleasure as always.
Same time next week.
Same time, same channel.
And me, wish myself luck tonight.
Davey,
full report tomorrow.
I have full faith.
Yeah. I'll bring the mountain ice, okay? I've got some at the house.
I got some at home.
I'm going to put my money tonight on Aaron Hamlin.
There you go.
Aaron Hamlin's big into that wheelchair basketball. And so Aaron Hamlin's my neighbor up there in Steuben. So I put my money on Aaron Hamlin tonight, Davey. Watch out for her. She's a goer.
Smitty, remind us again. It's tonight, and the Clark Athletic Center at Utica University is the Citron wheelchair basketball game. Roosevelt Bowie, former SU star, Brandon Trish, your man Uncle Smitty, many local celebrities, and tickets, I think, $10?
Yes.
What time do you start?
6:30.
What time do you stretch?
I'm already stretching right
Yeah,
now.
I think you should
I've been stretching.
Gonna call him Gumby.
keep going throughout the day.
I've been stretching since I got the call.
Your those shoulders are going to be on fire.
You got that right. I'm going to be a walking wounded tomorrow when I come in here.
I believe it's $10 for adults if you're heading out to the game. $5 for students of any kind, whether you're a college student or high school, elementary student. Kids 5 and under are free.
And our man Stefan will be there tonight.
And Stefan, I'm sure, will be there getting autographs as well. You can meet some Syracuse stars, and you can meet some radio stars, and our man Uncle Smitty.
Yep.
What do we got? 20 seconds here. We never got to the ABS system.
Yes.
Maybe we'll save that for next week.
Save it next week.
ABS. I'm wondering what baseball fans think of the challenging system. Some of the umpires kind of look bad. But
well,
it also
they say it's going to get better. It's we're kind of in the initial steps, but there's problems.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Tate Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
A warning to Iran as the ceasefire holds for now. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We'd rather not have to do it, but we're ready to go at the command of our president and at the push of a button.
And War Secretary Pete Hegseth tells Iran going back to bombing is doing it the hard way. The U.S. military blockade in the Strait of Hormuz
is the polite way that this can go.
As for Iran's threats to keep blocking all shipping,
threatening to shoot missiles and drones at ships, commercial ships that are lawfully transiting international waters, that is not control. That's piracy. That's terrorism.
On day 4 of this blockade, the U.S.'s top general, Joint Chiefs Chairman Dan Kane, says the U.S. has turned 13 ships around, not letting them into or out of Iran's ports.
Enforcement will occur inside Iran's territorial seas and in international waters.
Oil and gas prices have